Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games, because trust me, this one is awesome. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Castlevania Symphony of the Night! Now this game needs no introduction, none at all. You all know how awesome this game is. Although I do have to consider it my second favorite in the series, next to Super Castlevania 4. Okay. So I'm sorry. And this was the game that inspired the entire Metroidvania concept. Although it was done before in Castlevania 2. So, oh man, what's not to say about this game? Well, let me get started. When I first played this in 1998, so my friend let me borrow the game on a Friday, and then on Sunday, I beat the game with the full 200.6%. That's how obsessed with the game I was. I mean, I could not put this game down. So I played this game before I played Rondo of Blood, and I was like, oh hey, who's this Belmont guy I'm controlling? It's Richter Belmont. I just had to look that up on the internet. And then, we all know, this is the most classic exchange between Belmonts and Dracula.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
I think this is Chris Redfield's voice actor from the original Resident Evil.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. How about you?
I need not say more. A true conversation between man and enemy. And of course, Dracula is like super easy to beat, and depending on how good you do during the fight, affects Alucard's stats later in the game. Now, if there's one thing that really stands out about Castlevania Symphony of the Night, is the music. Oh my God, is the music incredible! And oh boy, the music of this game is so incredible. Like, we have our classic awesome Castlevania themes, like the really upbeat ones, and then we have rock themes, we have horror themes, we have metal themes, we have spooky themes, we have beautiful, elegant themes. Like, the music of this game is just so rich in variety, and it fits every single part that it's in. Like, it's amazing. Also, what's really amazing about this game are the controls. Like, this is the game I finally felt like Castlevania now has perfect controls. Like, Alucard handles like a dream. Like, you can control him while he's jumping. Like, he's so easy to control. It's like, wow, like I'm just floating on air while playing this game. Now let's talk about the castle, the enemies, and the bosses. Like, holy shit, the enemies are like so detailed, so monstrous. Like, what's really cool about these enemies is like they have their own unique death animations, and you just want to see them all. Like, you want to see Alucard just kill the shit out of all the enemies just to see how they die. Although I do admit the castle is a bit repetitive in the way it presents the stages, but that's okay because the stages are just so detailed and so huge. Like, you want to get the full 200.6% of this game. Like, I remember just exploring every little corner, just trying to make the map. It's crazy. Although the big gripe I have with this game is it's way too easy. I mean, that shouldn't be a bad thing considering Castlevania games are as hard as a rock. But this game sadly loses a lot of its challenge. Like, even though the Grim Reaper strips you of all your items, but once you get stronger items, especially the Chrysogrim in the inverted castle, like, I remember I got the Chrysogrim on my first try in the inverted castle, and the game was just a cakewalk. Like, I was just like slicing through enemies like it was nothing. So I did replay the game again to not use the Chrysogrim, but the game was still too easy. It's kind of sad seeing all these crazy-ass bosses. Like, there's this boss called Beelzebub, who looks like a rotting corpse, but he's like super easy to beat. And then in the inverted castle, like, there's that gigantic dragon who's still really easy to beat. And then there's that one boss who's just a whole pile of dead bodies, but you can just slice it open very, very easily in this game. Oh, and oh yes, let's talk about the voice acting. Now, I think Alucard's voice is fine, but Richter sounds like Chris Redfield. Dracula sounds a bit over the top, but not as bad. Although I do like the librarian. Thank you.
What can I do for you?
I'm interested in this.
like farewell for now.
And I think Shaft sounds okay, but not too over the top like a lot of the characters in this game. And like Maria, her accent sounds a bit over exaggerated. Richter, give us your strength. And actually, what is pretty cool, like you can turn Alucard into Mist, you can turn him into a bat, or you can turn him into a wolf. And also, you can have these extra allies called familiars. Like my favorite one was actually the sword familiar, but then you can also use like the devil familiar to like activate secret passageways. I mean, it's really cool. And also, what is crazy about this game, like Richter is kind of the primary antagonist for the first half, although you get these special glasses and realize he's being controlled. And the first time I played this game, you know, I got the glasses, but then I played it again and wanted to play it with Richter as the bad guy. Then I had Richter killed and then the game ended there. So I kind of got the fake ending. But if you beat Richter with the glasses, then the inverted castle appears like a castle, like just like Dracula's, just appears out of thin air and is on top of the normal castle, and everything is upside down. I mean, that's pretty psychedelic, man. And of course, in the inverted castle, we get even crazier enemies, like crazier bosses. Like I remember like the Cthulhu's, like they're like... And then you get to fight Dracula's pal Orlocks. Like, yeah, Dracula must be really close with Orlocks if he's gonna give him his own part of the castle to inhabit. But the inverted castle isn't really that bad at all. It's just everything is upside down, which is really fucking cool. And then you fight Shaft, and then you fight Dracula, and then that's it. And then Alucard is like, the only way for evil to triumph is if good men do nothing.
Indeed. But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
And of course, if you put in a code, you can play as Richter the entire game, although it's a little more old school, but you can still find a lot of stuff. Although sadly in the PlayStation version you can't play as Maria, but you can play as Maria in the Saturn version, which is Japanese only. Oh, and there is an extra area in the Saturn version. And of course in the Dracula X Chronicles on the PSP, there's an updated port of this game which you have to search for, and actually they redid the voice acting to make it sound good.
All I'm here for is you. To hell with your heresy! You're nothing but a blight on mankind.
Ha! Mankind! A cesspit of hatred and lies! Fight for them then, and die for their sins!
Although I honestly prefer the old school voice acting a lot more, because it's a timeless classic. And also in the PSP version, you can play as Richter or Maria or as Alucard from the start, which is actually really cool. So, oh boy, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I just can't say enough good things about this game. Even though it is my second favorite in the series, I do think it is the best Castlevania game for anybody to pick up and play. Like, you have hours of exploration, like so many enemies, so many bosses, so many like places in the castle to go, and there's so much replay value. Like, I remember just spending hours upon hours just trying to get those little parts of the map so I can get like 200.6%. And then you can play the castle as Richter or Maria in the PSP and Saturn versions. And even though I said this was a flaw of the game, yes, the game is definitely very, very easy to beat. It's not difficult at all, and even though, you know, the Grim Reaper takes away your items at the beginning, you can get better items. And I do recommend playing the old school PlayStation version for shits and giggles. Yeah, so Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You can get this game on the PSN store for really, really cheap. You can get it on the PSP for really, really cheap. And you can get it on the PSP for really, really cheap, either the digital version or the physical version. Because man, if I were to say everything I wanted to say about this game, I could probably take up like 3 hours, but I'm not going to take up your time. So that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And if you have any memories about this game, make sure to leave those in the comments below. Take care.
Having fun? Well, you guys should totally go check us out at twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus.
Please support us at patreon.com/BattleGeekPlus.